As we wait for President Biden to address the American public about the state of the economy, perhaps some other issues top of mind this morning, Allison Harris is back with us from the White House with more on what we can expect from the president this morning. It's been a busy news week and at the White House and in Congress as well. So we're kind of hoping he talks about more than the economy, but that's the news at the hour.
Well, let me share some news that just broke. We just received a statement from the president's special counsel about these classified documents. You know, we'd seen reporting that there was an additional batch of documents found at his private home in Wilmington, Delaware. We just received confirmation of that in a statement from the special counsel saying that lawyers did search his two homes in Delaware and also in Rehoboth Beach, Wilmington and Rehoboth Beach, obviously both Delaware. But they did find some classified documents in the garage of his Wilmington home, as well as one classified document in a room adjacent to the garage. We do not know exactly when that was discovered, the first round of documents on November 2nd. So this is a statement just coming out from the special counsel, and this is happening as the president is set to speak about inflation numbers. You can guarantee that reporters in the room very close to me here at the White House are going to be asking him about this new information confirmed by the special counsel. At the same time, we also just received a word from the Justice Department, from the Attorney General Merrick Garland. He's going to be making a statement at 11:15 Eastern. Possibly that could mean there's been a lot of speculation of whether there will be a special counsel to look into President Biden being in possession of these top secret documents, because there have been calls from Republicans for similar treatment as the former President Trump has received based on classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago. Now, obviously, we have to say these are different situations. It was a trove of documents discovered at Mar-a-Lago. It was an unprecedented FBI raid of the former president's private residence and club there in August. A different situation when President Biden had documents found in his possession at a private office here in Washington. His lawyers immediately alerted the National Archives. So I think it's important that we continue to point out those differences. But again, this is confirmation that even more documents of high national importance were found in the president's possession. Now, at the same time, I know you want to talk about what he is prepared to speak on in a few moments. We've received a 2-minute heads up, but it's looking like it's going to be later hearing from the president. But this is on inflation, and it's good news for the Biden administration, good news for the country that inflation numbers are down. So inflation is now at 6.5%. It was at about 7% in November. This is the December report. The highest that inflation rose to within the past year was in June at about 9%. So this is definitely an improvement, but economists and experts are still wanting to see just how quickly this number is going to fall. This news today is largely because the price of gas is down to about $3 on average per gallon. So that's great news. Interestingly enough, as we talk about the price of groceries, the price of eggs is up to the inflation rate of eggs is 11.1%. So those grocery bills we're all seeing are still high. We're all experiencing it. And I think anytime that we talk about this, it's important to note, I just read a statistic that 1 in 5 adults experienced food insecurity in the past year. So I think it's important to talk about our more vulnerable populations when we talk about these rising prices and how it affects those groups more acutely. So a lot of news right now from the White House, Marni, and we're waiting to hear from the president momentarily.
Wow. I mean, right, there's so much to chew on here. I mean, the topic of the moment will be the economy. And of course, that's what the president's going to want to focus on, Allison. Is it likely, though, he'll get questions about the documents? He may also get some questions about the border and the situation, having just been to El Paso and then gone to the Leaders Summit in Mexico City. And then this huge debacle with the FAA and thousands of flights being canceled. I mean, that is top of mind for Congress right now to investigate that. How likely is it that the president will take questions on so many issues important to Americans during this moment in a few seconds?
I think it's going to be really interesting to see, because yesterday you saw the press secretary not answering any questions about the classified documents. Granted, this is a legal matter. You saw the president, when he was in Mexico, answer a question about it from reporters, and you could tell he was basically reading a statement there. So they definitely are being cautious because it is a legal matter. But you had the press secretary yesterday saying, I'm not going to expand on anything the president has said. I think that will be the bulk of the questions that he's getting most immediately, as this news has just come out, as they're waiting to share this good news on the economy economy and inflation. It'll be interesting to see what he says, if anything.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.